Welcome back to another episode of the Tailored Property Wealth Podcast. My name is Casey Taylor. I'm the host of the podcast. And in today's episode, we're talking about 5 Queensland suburbs where houses are under $500,000. Okay, so we've done an episode previously, and the narrative is always that there's no affordability anymore. And that's not the case when you look nationwide, you look in different suburbs within a state as well. Now, we focus on metro locations, and the ones we're discussing today are going to be regional. But if you're an owner-occupied and you're investing anywhere sometimes in a state, there's still affordable options. So it doesn't mean that every property everywhere is $1 million plus. So let's get into this one today. It's a short, sharp one, data on those suburbs, and we're going to discuss 5 of those suburbs. Now, all the data that we have gotten for these suburbs is straight from CoreLogic. So Gundawindi, we have rental income growth over the last 12 months, 3.4%. Vacancy rates currently, now this is as per SQM research, 0%. Median property value, $487,000. The gross yield, 4.85%, and the median days on market is 22 days. So that's quite low. Essentially, properties are selling within 3 weeks. Capital growth over the last 12 months, really solid, 15.7%. And the capital growth over the last 5 years is 68%. So there's some good performance there in terms of capital growth over both that 12 months and that 5 years. Warwick has a rental income growth of 20.1%. So that's some massive rental income growth there. Vacancy rates 0.2%, so very tightly held again. And the median property value is $474,000. And we've got a gross rental yield of 5.3%, so a solid yield there. Median days on market is 32 days. Capital growth in the last 12 months, 16.8%, and the capital growth over the last 5 years, 99.3%. So not bad for Warwick. Some good, solid capital growth and some really solid rental income growth as well. Mackay has seen rental income growth of 11.2% in the last 12 months. Vacancy rate 0.8%, so still tightly held under 1%, and median property value $464,000. Gross yield 7.15%. So it's a really strong gross yield. Something to touch on is some people focus on that gross yield a lot, but in some of these more tropical locations, there can be higher holding costs. So despite your gross yield being higher, your net yield might not be drastically different, and that's because once you take out some of those associated costs. Median days on market 25 days, and capital growth over the last 12 months, wait for it, 32.4%. Massive capital growth. This is an area that there's a lot of investors focusing on at the moment. There's a lot of talk about Mackay as an area. There's a lot of people focusing there. We do focus on that long-term performance consistently. So can it do that year on year? The answer is no, that not all suburbs can do that anyway, because it's just not feasible to continue to perform like that. But we like the long-term performance over something like this. Capital growth last 5 years, 77%. So the next one we have is Atherton. Now, Atherton has a rental income growth of 24.8%. The vacancy rate is 0.4%. And the median property value is $493,000. We've got a gross rental yield of 5.04%, and the median days on market is 32 days. Capital growth in the last 12 months, 14.5%, and capital growth over the last 5 years, 58.6%. Last one, Mariba. Rental income growth over the last 12 months. This one's actually gone backwards, 5.3%. We've got vacancy rate of 0.1%, and we've got a median property value of $454,000. Gross yield, 5.39%, and the median days on market, 43 days. Capital growth in the last 12 months, 12.2%, and capital growth over the last 5 years, 52.1%. So that is 5 suburbs in Queensland under $500,000 for houses. These are obviously regional locations. It's not something that we focus on as a business, but we want to highlight to you areas where there is opportunity to get in under that $500,000. There are options out there. Not every area is unaffordable. So if you can go out there and you can do the data and the research to find those areas, there's still options. Whether they're going to be those consistent long-term performers is another thing. If you want to chat about where you think you should be investing, reach out to us, tailoredpropertywealth.com.au. We can have a chat, see if there's an opportunity to help you and get you into that solid location that's going to perform long-term. Hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next episode. Have a good day.